I'm starting already? Well, when I had Toby, my dog, every morning we'd go down on the beach and walk all the way to Eastern Lake. And one morning as I was walking back, I looked down, and right on the hard, wet sand, I saw a little thing that looked like a part of a great kid glove. And I looked at it very closely, and it was a little baby turtle. So I ran up to follow. I looked a little bit further along, and I saw where the mama turtle had left these tracks like a, well, the thing that rolls around. Can't think of the name of it now, but left tracks, great huge tracks, about 4 feet or 6 feet across, tractor tracks, up to the edge of the beach, edge of the cliff. And I ran up there, and sure enough, there was a turtle nest, a sea turtle nest, erupting, all these baby turtles. And I had seen a documentary put out by Disney about a couple of months before, telling what a hard time baby turtles had to survive, because seagulls would come down, and then when they got in the water, the fish would get them. And I thought, well, I'll help these poor little things. So I looked there, and the first thing that fascinated me was that out of this, looked like a sand volcano, the little turtles were clambering up, and not a one of them was clambering to the north, or the east, or the west. Every single one of them was just coming up on the south side, climbing down the slope, and clambering over towards the water. So I had on a rather full skirt, so I took about 6 or 8 at a time in my skirt, and I ran to the edge of the water, and I threw them in so that the birds which were beginning to come wouldn't get them. Then I ran back to get another skirt full, and when I got back to the water, all the ones that I had thrown in had been deposited on the sands because the surf had brought them back in again. So I picked them up and I threw them back.
These turtles were already born.
They were just about 2 inches long. They looked like gray suede. And so then I finally got, you know, a turtle lays about 100 eggs, and I suppose I must have thrown about 50 into the water, and I finally got them to stay in the water by throwing them back again and again and again. So then, in the meantime, I'd been shouting to the dog and throwing sticks at him so he'd stay away, and I was exhausted from my nature efforts, and I went home feeling so good. And so I got hold of the article that I had read about how many eggs the mother turtle laid and all the things, the life history of a turtle, and it said, now, the most important thing about the baby turtle coming out of the nest and going to the water is that it be allowed to walk down under its own power, as they do not have the strength to survive in the water.
Oh, no.
So I had decimated 50 or more little baby turtles trying to help.
Did they actually die?
I guess so.
Oh, it's terrible.
So that's another animal death.
You're right. This collection of animal deaths. Any other animals that you killed?
What?
You think I've...
No, that was so funny. I felt so virtuous, and I ran back to confirm how I knew all about turtles and their cycles. Lots of people see where the mother turtle has come up, and then they try to help it by building little fences so the jeeps won't roll over the nest. But there's nothing you can do to save the little turtles, because all kinds of animals like skunks and raccoons dig up the eggs, and people dig up the eggs. So the turtle that chooses seagrove beach is making a bad decision. Now what do you want me to tell you about? The funniest thing that's happened in Seagrove, I can't put down tape.
Why?
Because...
Use other people's names.
Well,